Hello, today I'm going to be sharing 4 of my personal favorite berries native to the Pacific Northwest. I decided to share these berries because growing up in this area, I would always see these berries growing everywhere and I wanted to know more about them. Whether they're native, what uses they served, or even if they're just edible. These 4 stood out to me the most and I found had the most interesting information. One of my personal favorite berries is a huckleberry. Huckleberries are commonly found growing in moist, shady areas, growing out or near down tree trunks or stumps. Black huckleberries are used today in pies, muffins, breads, cobblers, and cookies. Not only are these popular today in baking, but they served as a popular food source for animals and natives who had access to them. Black huckleberries were used not only as food, but the juices of the berries was consumed as a beverage to stimulate the appetite or as a mouthwash. Native Americans of the Pacific Northwest ate red huckleberries year-round, both fresh and dried, often using it as fish bait due to its resemblance to salmon eggs. Another interesting berry is the Oregon grape. Native Americans used the roots and bark to make yellow dye for wool, baskets, and porcupine quills. Oregon grape is a bushy plant that can grow up to be 3 to 10 feet tall and 2 to 5 feet wide. There are 2 types of Oregon grape, tall Oregon grape and low Oregon grape. The low Oregon grape can be found in relatively moist, open forests, while the tall can handle both dry, open areas and shady, moist areas. Native to western North America, it can be found from the Rocky Mountains all the way to the Pacific coast. This plant blooms in spring and produces berries in the summer. The berries of the Oregon grape are edible, but they are very sour. Native Americans would mash the berries with sugar and milk to make a dessert. The Native American tribes in the Pacific Northwest used Oregon grape roots to treat a variety of ailments, including stomach issues, arthritis, and tuberculosis. Up next is the red baneberry. This is another interesting plant. The berry is found most commonly in moist, shady areas, but can also be found in dry slopes. This berry ripens in July, and the entire plant is poisonous, but its berries are the most toxic. It's poisonous to humans and is also avoided widely by other types of wildlife. When ingested, the berries can have an almost immediate sedative effect on the human heart and can lead to cardiac arrest if enough are eaten. Another thing I found in this berry was the claim that it was used by the native people on the tips of arrowheads, but I couldn't find enough information to back up this claim. Finally, we have the thimbleberry. These are commonly found growing along roadsides and the edges of clearings. These are typically one of the first plants to grow after a fire or clear-out. They prefer shady, moist, and cool conditions. Native Americans widely use this plant for both food and medicinal purposes, consuming the fresh berries and utilizing the leaves for teas and poultice. A poultice of the dried powdered leaves can be used to treat wounds and burns. The roots and the leaves can be used in teas to reduce symptoms associated with digestive issues, and its leaves are meant to help with hair and skin agitation. All these berries have their own special uses and are a large part of the lives of not only us, all living things in the Pacific Northwest, and are a great example of how interesting and special the plants in our area truly are.